everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Stafford. He's got his man. This is Tate. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Go.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play, but they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one, because this defense, they love to run blitz, and they clog up the running lanes.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 25 yards that time. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. 2nd and 6. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, Schofield. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family because that's a huge part of it because everyone needs to be happy and comfortable. And, you know, while this process was going on, people had to be wondering, especially within his own crew, are we going to have to move? Are we going to have to change things? Not anymore. They get to stay where they're comfortable and familiar.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try the left side. Childress. And some room to work. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-0. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford looking deep down, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Myers connects on the PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's complete to Slayton. There he goes left side. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 81 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. On second down now, Schofield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He completes it to Tate. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, the 20, 10. And the ball is knocked out. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Is this bringing back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 41, Stafford, this one complete to Lacy. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on first down. Schofield pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go. Do this.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a first down throw that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Got a man, Slayton. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This quarterback now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
You don't want it. Based on Travis.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Throwing again on second down. Stafford. Going to throw right side here. Complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Lady! Check. Hey, watch this.
On first down, Stafford here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Stafford. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. On now is the kicker Jason Myers for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start with a couple of teams that met in the playoffs a few short years back. Green Bay heading south to take on Dallas. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Cam Newton has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Check. Fresno.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second and 9 now. And he slings one that's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From the 39, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, 78 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On first down, it's Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
Let's go. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Stafford toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Back to throw. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Hey, Orbit. Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. Go. Let's go right here now. Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to go.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of, that's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 32 on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he'll find Hall. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Finds his tight end, Ingram. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
Go! 90 ball, General West. Wide, get wide.
Back to throw again. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Schofield. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And
he's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 39 yards there, a big one. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
Do you know what that generally means?
Success. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
New York set to take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Lions on third down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will extend this big lead. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Get in the weight room.
To throw is Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Lions on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Stafford. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Well, they get 1 back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Gonna save the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, look at the juke. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Stick looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Let's go.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Over the middle, complete. That's Williamson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Go now. 60 or. Bang, lock it. Bang. Lee Griffin.
A first down carry for Barkley. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
30 base. Recon, 132 fighter.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll set up to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. 2nd and 5. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what is...
And now here is another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.